For those that are online, thanks for joining. We're going to wait just a few more minutes. I got 2 more minutes by my watch, and we'll get the bid going. Thanks for all those that are here in person.
There's a truck.
All right, we got 2 o'clock here. Just a quick introduction. Matt Holzett with OAK on behalf of Forest Hills Public Schools and GMB. Appreciate everyone that's here in person and those that are watching online. I know it takes some time and effort to take a look at the project, so we appreciate that. A couple just housekeeping notes. We do have 22 different bid categories. We're going to start with bid category 1. There aren't any alternates to the project, so we don't have to worry about that. We will acknowledge any clarifications or voluntary alternates, but we will not read those. And if there is not a bid security or a cashier's check, we will not be reading your bid. No personal checks are accepted. I believe post bids are going to be with the apparent low bidders, and those are slated for like next Monday and next Wednesday. So please be available at your designated bid category time slot. If you have any questions, make sure that you reach out to Jane. Please don't reach out to GMB or the owner directly. And our goal, as always, is likely to get this bid tab published by midday of next week. So with that, I will go ahead and get started here. So first bid category, selective demolition, extreme demolition for a base bid of $623,700. They've acknowledged the addendum. They do have a clarification, and they have endorsed the schedule. Next bid category 2, concrete. First bidder, Cannon Concrete Construction for a base bid of $208,000. They've acknowledged the addendum, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Epic Excavating for a base bid of $403,055. They've acknowledged the addendum, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Shepherd's Concrete for a base bid of $280,370. They've acknowledged the addendum. They've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder is Proline Concrete Construction for a base bid of $250,000. They've endorsed or acknowledged the addendum. They've endorsed the schedule. Next bid category 3, masonry. First bidder is Brigade Masonry for $1,080,376. They've acknowledged the addendum. They've endorsed the schedule. And they do have a qualification. Next bidder, JK Masonry Base bid $939,970. They've acknowledged the addendum. They've endorsed the schedule. Next bid category, 4 metals, Bennett Steel, base bid $299,750. They've acknowledged the addendum, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bid category, number 5 rather, general trades. First bidder, D&D Building, base bid $2,173,200. They've acknowledged the addendum. They do have voluntary alternates, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, BCI Construction, for a base bid of $2,455,000. They've acknowledged the addendum, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder is Nugent Builders for a base bid of $2,125,000. They've acknowledged the addendum. They do have a voluntary alternate, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Vander Cody Construction, for a base bid of $2,141,000. They've acknowledged the addendum. They do have voluntary alternates and clarifications, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder is Triangle Constructors for a base bid of $2,541,057. They've acknowledged one addendum. They do have a voluntary alternate, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bid category, number 6, roofing. First bidder is J. Stevens Construction for a base bid of $233,300. They've acknowledged the addendum, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Division 7 Building Contractors for a base bid of $554,786. They've acknowledged the addendum, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Hoekstra Roofing Company for a base bid of $337,600. They've acknowledged the addendum. They have endorsed and qualified the schedule. Next bidder, Modern Roofing, base bid $270,000. They've acknowledged the addendum, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder is Great Lakes Systems, base bid $392,015. They've acknowledged the addendum, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bid category, number 7, joint sealants. First bidder is CJ's Coatings and Ceilings, base bid $47,414. They've acknowledged the addendum, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Premier Caulking, for a base bid of $96,800. They've acknowledged the addendum, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Irish Caulking, for a base bid of $11,350. They've acknowledged the addendum, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Slager Restorations and Sealants, base bid $25,795. They've acknowledged the addendum. They do have a alternate, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bid category, number 8, doors, frames, and hardware. First bidder, S.A. Mormon and Company, for a base bid of $493,685. They've acknowledged the addendum. They do have voluntary alternates, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Automatic Equipment Sales and Service, for a base bid of $428,520. They've acknowledged the addendum, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder is Compound Door and Operator. It looks like this is not for a specific bid category, but for spec sections. Yeah, I don't believe they're going to be the complete bid. $45,470, but that's only for 2 spec sections. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. Next bid category, number 9, aluminum glass and glazing, Lakeshore Glass and Metals. Base bid $255,625. They have acknowledged both addendums, and they have endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Grand Valley Glass, base bid $313,000. They've acknowledged the addendum. They've got a voluntary alternate, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bid category, LPDA, for a base bid of $100,335. I'm sorry, $1,335,000. Sorry, y'all. They've acknowledged the addendum, and they've endorsed the schedule. That was Ritzma. Next bidder is Sobe Company for a base bid of $1,464,000. They've acknowledged the addendum. They do have a voluntary alternate, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Shepherd's Brothers, for a base bid of $1,341,499. They've acknowledged the addendum, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Central Ceilings West, for a base bid of $1,516,825. They've acknowledged the addendum. They do have some voluntary alternates, and they've endorsed the schedule. All right, next bid category is number 11, window coverings. First bidder is Triangle Window Fashions. Base bid $27,573. They've acknowledged the addendum, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, MCS Blinds and Shades, for a base bid of $28,700. They've acknowledged the addendum, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder is Budget Blinds of Grand Rapids. Base bid $37,304. Only one addendum is acknowledged, and they have endorsed the schedule. Next bid category, number 12, flooring, Paragon Construction and Interiors. Base bid $1,246,692. They've acknowledged the addendum, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Ritzma Associates, for a base bid of $1,133,275. They've acknowledged the addendum. They do have a voluntary alternate, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Great Lakes Flooring, base bid $1,020,900. They've acknowledged the addendum, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, River City Flooring, for a base bid of $999,900. They've acknowledged the addendums, and they do have some voluntary alternates, clarifications, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Sobe Company, for a base bid of $987,530. They've acknowledged the addendum. They do have a voluntary alternate, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bid category, 13, wood flooring. First bidder is Star Flooring, for a base bid of $444,000. They've acknowledged the addendum. They do have a clarification, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Kuhn Specialty Flooring, for a base bid of $196,400. They've acknowledged the addendum. They do have a voluntary alternate, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bid category, number 14, painting. First bidder, Eckhoff and DeVries for a base bid of $300. Let me take a break here right now. Yeah. All right, base bid $313,305. Sorry, it was a bit of a tongue twister at this point. Apologies. They've acknowledged the addendum and they've endorsed the schedule. H&H, base bid $294,886. They've acknowledged the addendum and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Galveston Painting for a base bid of $249,933. They've acknowledged the addendum and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Bork Brothers Painting for a base bid of $335,975. They've acknowledged the addendum. They do have some clarifications and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder is Halligan Painting for a base bid of $337,200. They've acknowledged the addendum. They do have some bid clarifications and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, or bid category rather, 15 lockers. First bidder, LG2 for a base bid of $177,723. They've acknowledged the addendum and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Rayhaven Group for a base bid of $168,472. They've acknowledged the addendum. They do have some clarifications and they have endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Bernard Enterprises, base bid $165,230. They've acknowledged the addendum and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bid category, number 16, bleachers. First bidder, Intercal. Base bid, $378,246. They have acknowledged the addendum and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Irwin Seating Company for a base bid of $71,100. This is another contractor. They're only bidding on one spec, so I doubt this is complete. Telescoping bleachers. All right, $71,137. They've acknowledged one addendum and they've endorsed the schedule. All right, next bidder is bid category 17, fire protection. First bidder, Triad Fire Suppression. Base bid $532,618. They've acknowledged the addendum. They've endorsed the schedule. Next bid category, Brigade Fire Protection for a base bid of $637,090. They've acknowledged the addendum and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Total Fire Protection for a base bid of $638,758. They've acknowledged the addendum. They've endorsed the schedule. Next bid category, 18 DDC Controls. First bid is Enertemp for a base bid of $819,000. They've acknowledged the addendum. They've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder is Control Solutions for bid category 18 for a base bid of $694,000. They've acknowledged the addendum and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bid category, number 19, mechanical plumbing. First bidder, River City Mechanical, base bid $6,630,000. They've acknowledged the addendum and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, DHE Plumbing, base bid $5,984,000. They've acknowledged the addendum and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder is Advantage Mechanical and Refrigeration. Base bid $6,138,800. They've acknowledged the addendum. They do have some voluntary alternates. They've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Van Dyken Mechanical, for a base bid of $7,331,200. They've acknowledged the addendums. They've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Alternative Mechanical, base bid $5,772,523. They've acknowledged the addendum. They do have clarifications, and they do endorse the schedule. Next bidder, Right Way Plumbing and Heating, for a base bid $6,778,000. They've acknowledged the addendum. They've endorsed the schedule. Next bid category, number 20, Testing and Balancing. First bidder, Air Economics, for a base bid $35,940. They've acknowledged the addendums. They've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Control Solutions, for a base bid of $45,600. They've acknowledged the addendum, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next contractor is Third Coast Test and Balance, for a base bid of $49,975. They've acknowledged the addendum, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bid category, Commissioning, FISCX, for a base bid of $34,400. They've acknowledged the addendums, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder is Functioning Consulting Services, for a base bid of $20,250. They've acknowledged the addendum, and they've endorsed the schedule. Next bidder is Control Solutions, for a base bid of $20,650. They've acknowledged the addendum, and they've endorsed the schedule. All right, last bid category, number 22, Electrical. First bidder is Circuit Electric, base bid $3,194,300. They've acknowledged the addendums. They've got a clarification, and they have endorsed the schedule. Next bidder, Excel Electric, for a base bid of $2,847,000. They've acknowledged the addendas. They do have a voluntary alternate and clarification, and they have endorsed the schedule. Next bidder is Allied Electric, for a base bid of $2,982,600. They have acknowledged the addendum or addendas, and they've endorsed the schedule. Last bidder here is Parkway Electric, for a base bid of $2,895,000. They've acknowledged the addendum, and they've endorsed the schedule. I believe that concludes our bids today. Thank you for those that are still with us and those that joined online. If you have any questions, please make sure they go to Jane Leahy. And again, we'll try to get this bid tab posted by middle of tomorrow. Thank you.